the third round of straw poll has just taken place. All 10 candidates will be informed of the results through their respective permanent representative of the nominating member states. The President of the General Assembly was also informed that the straw poll has been conducted. Thank you.
Is the Portuguese candidate still the leader?
Yeah.
Well, I'm authorized to speak on this line, but I'll be able to take your questions shortly.
Ambassador, any date for the next vote?
That will be up to the next president to decide.
Ambassador?
But really? So will New Zealand decide? Hang on. Uh-oh. Okay.
Can you talk about how the women candidates have been doing, Ambassador?
Not too bad.
Did a woman finish in the top three?
I think finish probably second.
Will New Zealand decide on the next...
Malcorra?
I'm not sure.
Was there anything that surprised you, or is it more of the same compared to the first two ballots?
I think you're seeing different results.
Is New Zealand the one to decide on the next date, or are these powers shifted to Russia?
New Zealand will decide.
Is Guterres still in the lead, though, or is a different person in the lead?
What was the atmosphere?
Everybody guessed.
What was the atmosphere inside? Third
Very
time?
small. It was very small.
It was the shortest meeting of the three. Why is that?
Because we have less candidates.
Less. Do you think that it should be less than 10, fewer than 10 now because of the results of the ballots?
We'll see. It's up to them to decide after seeing the results of the poll. Thank you.
But everyone still has discourages, right? At least 2 discourages. Everyone has at least 2 discourages.
Hopefully you can make it out. We'll read it out. Oh, absolutely. In every which way.
Do you mind if we just film you while this is happening?
Sure, if you that'd be fine. That'd be fine. I'm trying. This is the poor man's going live.
Okay, wait.
Hi, how you doing? So these are the results. Shall we go over them? Helen Clark. It's a sad day for Helen Clark. That I have to say, as I'm sure you know. 6 encourage, 8 discourage. So that's falling pretty fast. The big surprise is Miroslav Lajcak, almost in last place last time, jumping up to second, but he still has 5 discourages. But he leaped. Turk fell, Lajcak up, Bokova and Jeremic tied, Clark in a bad spot, Malcorra in a bad spot, Gherman and Figueres with 12 discourages. It seems like that's over. The dream is dead. The commitment to gender, highly in question, especially like if somebody was going to jump to second, you'd think, right? But no. So the thing that I take from this is that even Guterres, if one of the 3 discourages is Russia, then he's got a problem, you know? And his problem is not, I don't think anything that he can solve himself, like say, you know, take Crimea, it's yours. You know, it's right. I mean, I'm saying that facetiously, but it's really like if in fact Russia is committed that there should not be a Secretary General that's from the EU/NATO and so closely aligned, not just a sort of a fringe one, but so central, then as much as people say front runner, I think like we're in for either a very long fall or for some new candidates. Because even Lajcak has 5 discourages, which is a lot. Now maybe people are discouraging him because they think they're so committed to women. Somehow I don't think so. Or, you know, because they favor another second place person that they could think to jockey to the front. But with so many discourages out there, it's hard to, I think the odds of there being a dark horse are growing round by round.
You don't think Clark could be that dark horse?
Say again?
You don't think Clark could be that dark horse?
No, I mean, that's the I think it's, I don't know. I've talked to even some of the dark horses without revealing them. There are people, there's a lot of dreamers out there. You know, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's just difficult to imagine whittling away these discourages in any way that has any integrity, especially. You know what I mean? I mean, especially if the discourages. I mean, what do you do to get a permanent 5 member to take away their block on you? Do you say like whatever you do is okay on this, or I won't talk about this issue? Do you know what I mean? I don't mean to be a cynic, but it'd be better. That's why this is the craziest election process I've ever seen. At least the Vatican, they keep it secret. I think they don't do so many rounds. This is like you're basically if one of the current ones gets it, the first question at the first press conference has to be, what did you do? What did you commit to? You know what I mean? Which is not the way you want to do it. You'd rather have it be like, even if it seems non-transparent, you don't want somebody so blatantly negotiating away their positions. So that's my 2 cents. But it's surprising. I have to say, there's going to be a lot of tears going around.
I'll fill you in.
All right. These are, whatever.
Can you get it? Yeah, just sorry, because I missed
Sure.
it. So who do you just the very beginning?
Okay. No. I mean that in speaking to a number of people, it's an open secret. I mean, this time was even faster than last time. I have to, So countries get it. Even countries that are not on Security Council, they get it. Once it's very hard to keep information, especially this is so cogent. It's just a matter of numbers, But then again, if this was like the SEC or stock trading, everyone would go to jail. But it's like a fake secrecy, But so Guterres he's still described as the front runner, but last time he had 2 discourages. First time he had no discourages. That's why I think he was but everyone knew that one would come later. And now that he got 2, now he has 3. But the news of the day is Miroslav Lajcak, the foreign minister of Slovakia, who zoomed up from he was down in the dumps with Igor Lukasek, who dropped out, and he zoomed into 2nd place, but still with 9 in favor, 5 discourage. So this is a lot of discourages, and the question is, the real reporting is to find out who's who and sort of discourages. Vuk Jeremic is about where he was before, 7 in favor, 5 against. Bokova, 7 in favor, 5 against. Malcorra, 7 in favor, 7 against, which is bad. Kerim, 6 in favor, 7 against. Clark, 6 in favor, 8 against. I don't want to say it's over. I don't want to say it, but I don't know if Prime Minister Key is going to have to come up with some new magic on that one. And then there are 2 candidates. Danilo Turk. Now that's another story. No one wants to focus on the bad news. How did he go from number 2 to number 7? What did he do in the interim? It just shows you there's a lot of strategic voting because the guy didn't change. Just the structure and the message people wanted to send.
And how did number 10 go to number 2?
I know. He's been working it. You can even just follow his Twitter feed. He's been going to conferences, but I don't know. I've looked at the speeches. Unless there was some kind of secret dog whistle, P5 dog whistle in there. It's just, it's basic. There's a lot of strategic voting. I think that between the U.S. and Russia, they really don't want to show who they're in favor of. People might surmise. But the moment Russia says, this is my candidate, not just Key, but even Obama, but definitely, many people in the U.S. will say we have to oppose that person. Same thing with the U.S. Once the U.S. says we like X, there's going to be opposition. And so they're trying to sort of see how late they can get in the process. I think ultimately if it comes down to a game of chicken, I'm not voting against Russia. Just because, it's their region. They have a kind of a home court advantage. And you see things like New Zealand giving them powers. I don't know if they're going to take November's powers too. I don't know what. So but I have to say this. It's funny and it's fun to cover the UN, but this is the most insane process. There's a lot of stupid processes, but this one takes the cake. It really does because you're basically creating damaged candidates. It's just before. I don't know. It seems like you either really do it with white smoke or do it out in the open. But to do it this way, you're just giving rise to all kinds of suspicions. Unless the goal is to really come in with the dark horse candidate that will only just sweep in for a single vote in the council. I mean, I think if it was November or December, and the U.S. and Russia, just like they did on Syria, then everyone that said they cared so much is like, well, we'll leave it to them to negotiate about the Costello Road or whatever. If they come in December and say, here's the new guy, does France have the are they going to say no? Because they'll say, well, in 10 years we'll do better.